術式順天青
Hello everyone, my name is Troy and welcome to Maximum Output Training. Welcome to Max Effort Upper. Truth be told, I was going to do a Max Effort Lower session on Monday, but I had a lot of stuff going on up here and I just didn't think I could bring it to the camera, and I wasn't in the mood to kind of be on for the camera. I think you should just kind of just feel what you feel and just try not to force it. And I don't want to be down on the camera. Of course, I want to be transparent when I do YouTube and try to share what I feel and say what I want to say and try not to filter as much out. But I think when you're feeling down and just turning on the camera and just talking is probably not the best idea. But I'm feeling a little bit better today and hopefully we can hit some good weights. So aside from me feeling like shit and mental health has taken quite a swan dive in a weird way, let's get to Max Effort Upper. Let's turn up the heat here and hit some weights. So today's variation we are doing, you can't really see it, is close grip 2 board. And I'm just going to start warming up and work up to a top single. And in the past, I've been trying to beat my maxes by 5 pounds. But since I'm in a cut right now, let's try to maintain muscle and strength as best as possible. So I'm going to aim between 90% and 98-ish% for a max effort. And if I'm feeling good, I will try to attempt for a 5-pound PR. But as of right now, I'm trying to keep everything to around 90+% and just go from there. So if I can maintain around 90% plus of a max effort, I think that's a huge W. But for now, we're gonna hit 95 pounds for regular close grip to really just warm up the pecs and stuff like that before I slap on the 2 board and proceed to do my singles. So 95 pounds for probably like a set of 8. Okay, getting warmed up. Let's see what happens for the next little bit. So I'm gonna slap on 135 and I'll catch you for the next warm up. All right, 135 on, physically feeling good, slept pretty well. Still trying to aim for that 7 hours. I got roughly 7 hours, but now I'm starting to like wake up a little bit earlier towards the 5 o'clock region versus 6 o'clock, but I still aim around 6 to 7 hours because I know 8 hours or 9 hours is out of reach at this point in my life. So that's A-okay. So physically feeling good. Recovery last night was pretty good. Mentally mangled and jumbled. I feel like it's just when you put your earphones in your pocket, cabled earphones, not like Bluetooth. And then when you pull them out, you do it all nice. And then when you pull it out of your pocket, it's just jumbled somehow. So that's how my brain feels like at the moment. So I'm just trying to be honest with you. So if there's like a brain fog or whatever, or jumbling words, it's because, well, it's like a rat's nest up in my brain. So let's keep it going. Try not to get down the video, trying to do the good vibes, positive vibes bullshit, but I'm not going to do that toxicity on you and try to say everything has to be positive vibes only. So feel what you feel. Who knows, maybe it'll get better as soon as I slap on the 2 board. So let's do this. Moving good. It's only 135. I'm going to slap on 165 for the last maybe single or triple, and then for straight to chest, and then I'll slap on the 2 board just as normal. All right, 165 on the bar, last set of singles to triples, and then I'll slap on the 2 board, and then we'll start going for singles all the way up until my top set, around 90% to 102%, depending on how I feel. So we're just going to probably stick with the 90 to 97.5%. So how I structure my max effort upper days, especially for top singles and triples, is I like to change between off the chest training and lockout strength. So it'll be something like a 2 board, and then next week if I do like a deload of some sort, it'll be like an off variation of off the chest. So it has been lately like feet up type bench. So where I can push weights, but it's not as super hard and taxing on my body. And then start from the beginning, it will be like against banded press or against bands in a way to kind of work out lockout strength. And then it'll be like regular close grip off the chest, and then 2 board, and then some sort of feet up. That's how I kind of structure my max effort days. So you don't have to do that. You can kind of like wave it in a way where it goes 5, 3, 2, 1, and then just go from there. So that's how I do it. That's how I've been liking it. I just like the variation of off the chest, lockout, off the chest, lockout, and then just keep repeating that. So it's lots of fun. All right, 165. Let's do this. Okay, feeling pretty good. Now we slap on the 2 board and jump up to 185. Singles all the way up. Here we go. 2 board is on, singles all the way up. I should really put safeties on, but that's okay. It's my first single with 185. It's probably going to move like air. But yeah, singles all the way up, and I think my max is around 255. And after failing a bunch, I kind of lowered it to 245. So if I can hit between 235 and 250-ish today, that would be a huge W for me. So for now, 185. Okay, feels so awkward still to do a 2 board just because of how it feels, and I don't really do a dead stop. I try to do a pause, so it feels a lot different from a high pin press like I did a couple weeks ago. So I'm liking the slight variation of kind of lockout strength versus against bands where it slowly and gets harder as you go to lockout, where this one is just one area and then you kind of lock it out, or dead stop from your bar moving like a high pin press and then pressing back. So kind of liking it. I've only did pin press once so far this year or the last couple of years, but yeah, I enjoyed it. So who knows what might happen. It might be like a barbell accessory in the future, but for now, 205 singles all the way up. I just checked my PR records, and close grip 2 board as of right now is around 265. I'm gonna say around 265 because if I remember correctly, my ass came off the bench, so it was a semi max effort, semi PR. So I lowered it down to 255 just for form and technique sake. So if I can get between 250 and 260 today, maybe 245, we'll see how it goes. I think that'll be a sweet little win on my part, because I think I was about a few pounds heavy. It doesn't really matter. I'm just on a cut. I'm not eating as much food as I once was when I hit that last PR or max effort attempt, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'll have to go back to my records. But for now, regardless of my body weight and if I'm on a cut, I just want to be more conservative of my energy and strength going forward as I continue to push my cut a little bit more. So if I can hit between, like I said, 90% and 97.5%, I'll be happy with the results of a max effort single. So for now, 205, and I slapped on the safeties for safety reasons. So let's do this thing. That felt pretty good. All right, 2 plates on next. Rest for a little bit, and we'll go from there. Everything's kind of moving and grooving as I kind of want it to. 2 plates, resting a little bit longer. I rested about 7 minutes there. I like to keep it around 5 to 7 minutes these days, especially for all max effort type lifts, squats, bench, or deadlift. It used to be the opposite for squats, where I would rest like only 5 minutes. I just think rest and go when you're ready kind of thing, especially for max effort days. I still don't know how the West Side boys at when they do conjugate finish 45 to an hour on max effort day. I think that's just ridiculous how they do it, but I guess they just don't rest in between and they just fucking hammer everything. And they bench like 600 plus. So I don't know how they're doing that, doing their top set in like 15 minutes. That's ridiculous. Because yeah, good for them. They'll probably like smite me if I'm saying like, hey, I take like a whole hour to reach my top set. But is what it is, I guess. That's why I'm not at West Side, but I like the style of conjugate. So I almost said 2 plates, but yeah, 2 plates with the 2 board, lots of 2s, but except we're running singles instead of doubles. So let's do this thing. it moved. I think I was a little quick on the trigger there to push up, but yeah, felt pretty good. So we'll probably go up. We are officially in the 90% territory with 240, so it doesn't really matter if I'm using 255 or 265 as my 1 rep max. I'm using 265 as just kind of a gauge, and I'll just play around between 240 and 260 to see how this set actually goes. Why the hell was I crossing my feet? So if this moves pretty well, I'll probably jump into 255 and call it there. And then I'm usually against tying your 1 rep max, but the way that 2 board and my max effort upper days have been going, I'd rather either tie them to maintain strength on this cut or be around 90% to avoid failing and being dumb as fuck like I've been for the last few months and just placing more fatigue on my body than I need to. So yeah, we are just gonna kind of wing it a little bit how I normally, besides from the normal of my percentage base jumps for hitting a new 1 rep max. So yeah, we're gonna play a little bit safe for the time being until I go back into kind of like a maintenance type diet or a bulk in a way. But yeah, here we go. 240, either my last single or my second last single. Let's do this thing. Yep, I'm gonna call it there. Moved pretty well. My ass was starting to come off the bench, so I think if I went for like 250 or something like that, I probably would have locked it out, but I think my ass was just like, would have just hovered right off the damn bench. So I'm gonna play it safe, 240, top single, and then we hit our first barbell accessory. Close grip, 2 board, done. Hit 240 there for a pretty decent top single. It would have been roughly 90% if I was using my 265 1 rep max, which I was using. But if I was using 255, it was around the 95%. So within, like I said, 90% to 97.5%, I'm happy with a top single. So roughly 90 to 95%, depending on whatever 1 rep max I was using, I'm okay with that. I just didn't want form breakdown or my ass completely coming off the bench and I look like a damn rainbow. Well, now we're on to our first barbell accessory, arch bar. We're using middle grip for the time being because if I use outside grip, my pec is going to tear off, and inside grip just feels a little awkward, especially when it has, I don't know, it's just with my body type. But I have used it in the past, so it's just like a here and there kind of thing. So we're using 185 for sets of 5. First set, let's do this. Ooh, that set was awful. I set up too damn high on the bench again, and I forgot to put the safeties on, so that kind of threw my brain out of whack more so than it is right now. But for now, I'm gonna clean it up. I got a couple more sets to do, and then I will see you for my next accessory. Arch bar done. Got those sets in, sets of 5, feeling really good. Pec is pretty pumped at the moment. But it's my last week of doing it, and I'll probably deload next week just for the sake of just resting everything. So now we're on to regular dumbbell press, flat style. And we're doing 80 pounds for sets of 7 today. So if I manage to do this, it's a little baby PR because I haven't worked with 80 pounds for sets of 7 ever in my life. With pretty good form and technique, even if I was like hoisting the weights and just bouncing them around, I've never touched 80 pounds in my life until 2 weeks ago. With good form and technique on my end anyways. So let's do this. First set, 7 reps, 80-pound dumbbells. Six. Woo! Little baby PR, I'll take it. Man, that was feeling heavy. So I haven't had a refeed on this cut yet. It's been about 9 weeks. Haven't cheated at all. if you want to take my first week where I went out for a friend's birthday, I had like a steak and fries, but that was a week into the diet. So maybe in 8 weeks, I haven't had a refeed or anything like that. Roughly 8 weeks. No effect and change for the last week and a half. So I might have a refeed this weekend, see if that helps. And then probably drop the calories, maybe about a couple hundred calories, and see if I can push it for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And then I won't be going anymore after that. So yeah, I got a couple more sets. I don't know why I told you that. I just thought it was just like something just to talk about while I'm resting here. So I got a couple more sets. That felt good, little baby PR. And then I'll move on to the next accessory and I'll see you for that. Dumbbell press done. Sets of 7. Got all my sets in, especially that last set. I thought I was gonna lose it there. My pec was getting a little scary there. And I got all through 7 reps, all those sets. So pretty happy with that. Nice fat PR on my dumbbell press. I don't know how that's gonna progress going forward, but as usual, I think I'm gonna stop at 7 reps and then just redo the cycle in that way, going from 5, 6, 7, and just kind of clean up the form and technique that way. But yeah, very, very happy with that. So now we on to some pull-ups, and I've progressed my pull-ups a little bit. I got a weight belt from AliExpress. This thing was like less than 20 bucks. I think max weight is only 2 plates, 2 45-pound plates or something like that. I believe, something like that. It's not like I'm gonna do 90-pound dips anytime soon. So for 16 bucks, I'm not gonna complain about it. So my pull-up game, pull up, not pull out, you sick bastards, has gone a little stale just because I can't push the reps anymore. Maybe it's just me getting weaker or whatnot. But I think beyond the 10 rep range, I just can't do it. So I'm kind of like backing off the rep volume in a sense, and then I wanted to get weighted dips in and then kind of progress that way. And then if it helps my body weight pull-ups, I can push the reps again. But for now, I'm liking these pull-up with the weight belt. And I'm gonna put my Pretend Versa grips on. And we got sets of 7, I believe. Sets of 7, and then we're gonna go from there. 5. 2 more. 6. Okay, sets of 7. I tried to do chest to bar that time. Trying to do like a more power type style than a hypertrophy style, trying to get like stretch in the lats. I don't know. Something from, I don't want to say dead stop. It's not a dead stop hang. It's a dead stop from the bottom. And just pulling myself to the bar and then giving myself about 5 to 10 seconds in between each rep. It's going to take a little bit longer, but if you didn't know, got her from Dr. Stuart McGill. And he was, I still can't remember who the powerlifter, I got to pull up the video and remember who it was. Crap. But yeah, he said like do like 1 set of like 5 reps with the 5 to 10 seconds in between each rep. And then just go from there and then just move on. And then all of a sudden he could do like 30 reps body weight in total for whether that was like 1 set. I don't want to say 1 set of 30, but like 3 sets of 10 pretty easily just by doing it this style. So we'll do this style for the time being instead of dead stop hangs just to really build my back. But I just want to build up my pull-ups in general. So maybe just changing the stimulus just a little bit on pull-ups will get them stronger versus just me dead hanging and pulling from there. So I'm gonna continue with these and I'll catch you for the next accessory. Last and final exercise of the video and of the training session. So since the last exercise, I did quite a bit, did some shoulders, did some back and a little bit of arms here and there, and finishing off with some dips with my belt and my 5-pound ball sack. Just the same with my pull-ups. They started to kind of get a little stale around a certain rep range, and for dips, it was around 12. And I think if I add the weight and drop my rep volume, just like I did with my pull-ups, I can get stronger at body weight, and then I can just keep adding weight and keep progressing my dips versus just hitting 12 to 13 reps and then just getting beat that way. So There are two ways I can do dips. I can do facing forward where the handle is slightly closer, but it kind of beats up my joints a little bit. And if I face away from you, it feels super nice on the pec, but only like pisses off one of the joints, and it's usually my elbow if I face this way. And if it's facing towards you, it pisses off my shoulder. So I'm gonna do the one that feels the best, and away from you guys feels better on my pecs and my triceps. So we're gonna go with that for the time being. And then we got sets of 10 with 5-pound dip belt for some dips. 8, 9. Woo! That felt good. My elbow on my first set actually was pissed off, but this one felt a little bit better this time around. Feels super good on the pec and triceps. Gonna keep doing this way. I got one more set. So I just absolutely love dips. Since I got this with the rack, dips is just one of my favorite bodyweight exercises. Any type of bodyweight exercise like dips or pull-ups is probably my favorite, and I try to rotate them or keep them in my program. But it's kind of difficult at a commercial gym just because pull-ups is just like you take up like a whole station, and then dips is just like hardly ever there. But now, since I've been training in a home gym for almost 2 years, roughly, it's just nice to have. So I'm gonna keep bashing myself with dips, get stronger, hopefully these carry over to bigger pecs, of course, and nice accessory for bench. So hopefully it gets stronger as well, but we'll see what happens. So as of right now, that's it for the video. Comment, rate, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want some online coaching, there's some stuff in the description below. And I'll catch you guys next week for another training vlog where it's gonna be deload, and I'm not too sure what's gonna be. So until next time, peace.